Hello, hi, it's Martin Cooper here. Today I'm going to look at the 6:15 at Kempton Park. Again, I'm going to use Patternform as part of my analysis now to come to a selection. As we see, it's an 8-runner race on your weather. It's a class for 7 furlongs. So without further ado, find the Patternform card, click on the Kempton, and 6:15. As you can see, I've already had a look at this race. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the distance, and I'm going to couple that up with the going, which is on the all-weather, which I think is quite important. I think horses' performance does vary between the all-weather and the turf if they row on both types of surfaces. Look at 2 years, and I'm going to sort by the win value first of all. We can see we've got Drive On here. One last time out at Kempton in a Class 5, over the distance, a 9-runner field, off a mark of 75. It's gone up £3. Looking at its form over 7 furlongs, we can see it's won a Class 2. That was over a year ago at Lingfield, off a slightly lower mark, £4 lower. So that's certainly a possible as Drive On. Pretty Bubbles. Third, quite a close-up third to Westminster, 79 running off the same mark. If we do go down a little bit though, we can see it's won at Kempton at the distance, slightly bigger field, off a £2 lower mark, so again that's probably one to consider. One that is very short in the betting is Duchess. The reason probably why it is short in the betting is that if you look, I've just gone flat and 2 years plus. What this does, it shows you how exposed horses are. And the more exposed a horse is, the general thinking is that it is easier for the handicapper to assess and therefore give them a weight. The less exposed, the more difficult it is for the handicapper to do that, and therefore the horse might also be open to improvement. We can see that it's only had 5 runs on the flat as Duchess. Dutiful Son is much less exposed than most, and it's got very good Kempton form, we can see here. It is well handicapped on its Kempton form. What would put me off, it's finished last in its last 3 starts, admittedly much higher class races. So that's just getting a very brief overview. What I would do, I'd also look at the Kempton form, which I think is important. We go 2 years plus here. And again, sorting on win value, and we can see that on Kempton, Pretty Bubbles has run here 7 times. It's won 3 times. It's placed twice. The couple of times it hasn't placed, it's just finished outside of the places. So it's certainly got pretty strong Kempton form. Dutiful Son, mentioned, it's probably well handicapped on its Kempton form. But its last 3 runs have been pretty disappointing, albeit in higher class races. And I did mention Drive On. Now there's a big gap there just at Kempton between Driving On's win and its last win. It's not prolific as Drive On, I would say. Also, I'm going to look at the class. Flat. 2 years plus, and I'm going to just see how these horses run. And again, Pretty Bubbles in a 5k race, which I've already mentioned, that race at Kempton. Couple of decent efforts. It's a close-up third to Westminster, which is probably a progressive horse, and it was third down, so at Southwell in December of last year. And if I filter that further by using the all-weather, we can see that really Pretty Bubbles has a pretty good, it certainly has some going for it. Duchess, as I've said, is very unexposed. Dutiful Son, I've already mentioned. Let's see. Dry run. Certainly doesn't have a particularly good record in Class 4. It hasn't won in the class, and that's for a lifetime. So, given that very, very quick and dirty analysis, I've had a very small wager on, where is it? Pretty Bubbles. I think it's currently trading at around 4-1, which I think is a little on the generous side. I would expect Pretty Bubbles to shorten a little, maybe coming to around 7-2, possibly even 3-1. Solid form. It's got course form. Freddie Taliki, the jockey. If we look at Freddie, well, go back to Pretty Bubbles, we will find that Freddie Taliki hasn't ridden a horse recently, which makes it quite an interesting booking. Here we have to go back to August, but if we look down the lines that when he's ridden, taking the plate for Pretty Bubbles, he's won at Newbury, he's got a win at Southwell, he's got a place effort there, he's got a win at Kempton, and he's got 2 wins at Kempton. So certainly his record on the horse, it's pretty solid. Please feel free to leave comments. If you've watched the other videos, thank you very much. Thank you for the positive comments. Patternform's a super resource, and I really like the Facebook forum and page. Good luck with your punting today, and no doubt, hopefully, time permitting, I'll be posting another video soon. Thank you. Bye bye.